We have an update when it comes to Maxx Crosby, one of the best edge rushers in the National Football League. He spoke to the media, and he had some very interesting comments. And I don't want to overreact to it. I don't. I'm going to try to remain calm here, but I'm going to play the clip of his response to a very specific question. That question was essentially about Davante Adams being traded and, if the Raiders head into a rebuild, his thoughts on that. So let's play the clip. I'm going to give my thoughts on it and try to remain calm. But here's Maxx Crosby when asked about the Davante Adams trade in the future of the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm not here to rebuild. I'm here to win. So, I don't know whatever that means, but yeah, I'm here to win now. And wherever I'm going to be, I'm going to be here to win. So that's all that matters to me.
Okay. So, keywords in what he said. A couple keywords. Wherever I'm going to be. He said, wherever I'll be or I'm going to be, whatever he said. Wherever. That's key. Because we know Maxx Crosby, the guy wants to win. Okay, and the Raiders have not been able to do that. It's a disaster of an organization. It's going to be very interesting over the next couple of weeks to see what the Raiders do. They're not going to win a lot of games. I think anyone could guess that. They're not going to win a lot of games. They are going to draft a quarterback this year. Maybe they can get Shedeur Sanders and you get a quarterback that has a high ceiling and they can turn this thing around like CJ Stroud-esque. But here's the reality. Unlikely, okay, unless the Raiders lose out. And unless Mark Davis, unless he can convince Maxx Crosby that they are trying to win. They just brought in Tom Brady as a part owner. Maybe Tom Brady being there can speed this thing up. Who knows? But if the Raiders continue to lose and there's not a clear plan in place for the Raiders to kind of get back into relevancy and try to be a winner, then Maxx Crosby, there's a chance he could ask out. And I talked about this when we spoke about Maxx Crosby. My biggest thing is it's unrealistic unless Max asks out. And if he does ask out, it's very obvious that the team he would prefer to go to would be the Detroit Lions, a team that he grew up rooting for and a team that he said if he wasn't playing for the Raiders, he would play for the Detroit Lions. I'm just saying. Now, will Mark Davis let that happen? I have a quote here, right? Because he was asked about it. And his response was, Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders, "It's unfortunate today, but there's so much outside chatter that is not true," Davis said via theathletic.com. It's not coming from any sources. It's not coming from anything. My basic thing is never to answer all that stuff because otherwise you get trapped in this black hole. It's just not happening. Now, here's the thing, Mark Davis. You actually lose leverage if Maxx Crosby demands out because let's look at this a different way. If you want to start a rebuild, and I know how much Max means to that organization, he's a hell of a player, and you're better, obviously, with him. But if you know you're not going to win for the next couple of years, why not trade Max and get a pretty hefty trade package and start your rebuild with some assets, with some draft capital? Like, that makes sense, too. If Max demands out, Mark Davis loses leverage because he can say, well, you're not going anywhere. Now you have an unhappy star that's affecting the culture. Now all the outside noise, oh, free Max. Look at what they're doing to Max. He wants to leave. Like, now Mark Davis looks like the bad guy. I don't know if he cares, but the Raiders, it's a bad look. So if Maxx Crosby himself says, I want to leave, I don't want to play for the Raiders anymore, then that opens up the floodgates for teams to try and acquire him. Now, the Lions aren't going to be the only team that will be interested. There'll be a lot of teams that are going to call the Raiders. Now, what Max can do is say, specifically, I want to play for the Lions. Kind of like what Davante Adams did. He wanted to play for the Jets. He ended up going to the Jets. Maxx Crosby could do that. And, there is part of this that's it's just called being a good human being. And if you do respect Maxx Crosby and everything he's done for your franchise, you'd probably, give him I guess put him in a place where he'd like to play. I mean, I guess that would be the right thing to do. I mean, Davante Adams was there for way less, and he got to go where he wanted to go. So why can't Maxx Crosby? And if he does want to go to the Lions, maybe the Lions have some leverage. So it's an interesting thing to kind of pay attention to. Nothing's confirmed. This isn't Maxx Crosby's leaving, but it's just a small snippet of what's to come potentially. If the Raiders start to lose some more, it's something to pay attention to. I thought it was very interesting. Maxx Crosby, he's spoken kind of about this before. Kind of, I want to win. The Raiders aren't really going anywhere. They need a quarterback, and not just that, but they need other pieces as well. So that's the reality. Even drafting number one, you're not going to immediately go from worst to first. You're just not. Shedeur Sanders is very good, but they need more than just a quarterback. So if they're going to trade Maxx Crosby, that can help kind of propel them and propel their rebuild if they so choose to go into it. Maybe they don't. Maybe they hold on to Maxx Crosby. Maybe he doesn't ask for a trade. Like, this is all just speculation. But I thought the comments were very interesting. I love your guys' thoughts on it. I guess the off chance that Maxx Crosby, if they continue to lose, says, you know what? I want out and I want to play for the Lions. That could happen. You want to win? Come play for the Lions. Because they want to win. They want to win a Super Bowl. And why not return back to the state you originally played in and go win one? Go play for the Lions. Something to follow. Comment down below. Let me hear your thoughts. We'd love to hear them. And we're live tonight, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So join the show because we're going to be discussing this and a lot more. Until next time, I'll catch you guys. Hey, what's going on there? It's Jeff Iafrate. Appreciate you for finishing the video. You can check out one of the videos here suggested or show support by commenting, liking, and subscribing. And buy your merchandise, officialctsports.com.